Ready, Joel?
We're streaming, but we're a couple minutes early.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We turned this year all right. I told you, I'm white on the inside, black on the outside. I'm doing it like the white people.
So in a couple minutes, we'll do the intro thing.
Okay.
Because I don't want the people to tune in and then they already missed the beginning.
Is my mic on?
I hope so.
Yours turn on?
Yeah.
It's supposed to have.
Cool.
Scott, how long you gonna be in town?
Okay, I leave Tuesday.
Oh,
Yeah.
you have fun
30
so far?
seconds.
This is a good trip. Busy, but
Amazing. Good morning. Welcome to church. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Happy New Year out there in the world, and Happy New Year to everybody here. It's going to be a very interesting year. This is election time. Satan is going to show himself between now and election time, so watch out for it, all right? It's going to be interesting. So good morning, everybody here again, all right? So before I get rolling, I have a special treat for you. For the first 15 minutes or so, I have a beta male who is afraid to speak in the public, so he's beta in that way. And I want him to face that. The only way you can overcome anything, you got to face it. You got to go to it and deal with it. So Duran is going to come up for a few minutes. I have no idea what he's going to talk about. He's going to be all nervous. He's beta. In that area, he's beta. So come on up, Duran.
Hi, good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Come over here.
Right here.
Stand right there in front of the camera.
Okay. Hi, good morning. So, yeah, this is kind of weird. I never thought I'd be opening up for a church. So this is kind of cool. I guess I want to recap 2019 just a little bit. I think I met Jesse at, early 2019, first time meeting and speaking with him. And I think since then, one of the major things that kind of changed for me was I noticed when I would talk to people, whether it be like family or friends or whoever, I've noticed that once they started, becoming angry, whether it came from like me asking a question or just having a conversation or whatever, I kind of picked up on that. And normally I would engage in, the drama or whatever, but I found myself kind of just like hanging back and observing their behavior and just observing them rather than engaging them. Whereas before it's like, I would just, keep going along with what was happening. So I could say that was probably like one of the biggest changes last year, is just observing people and recognizing that they're not being themselves and not just, getting caught up in that. I think, and the second biggest thing was moving to LA. I never really thought I would move out of my city before. Even though I didn't move far, I came from San Bernardino. It's still like a world of difference moving to a competitive large city like Los Angeles. But now that I'm out here, I wish I would have done that years ago. So for anyone that's, thinking about moving, highly consider it. It's definitely like a great change, definitely a milestone in my life. Also, I finally started my a new YouTube channel. So I've been doing interviews on the street, and I've been asking people questions. So for the first episode, I asked people, I was on Hollywood Boulevard and had asked people, what do men and women want from each other? And guess what the number one thing was? Sex, yes. Then money, sex and money. And so that episode got kind of, it was a little vulgar, got a little wild. So for the next episode, I decided to ask people, what should a man pay on the first date? I thought I'd keep it a little bit more mild. Should a man pay on the first date? So we went to downtown Long Beach and then downtown Los Angeles. And it's weird because when you ask people a simple question like that, I never thought you'd find out so much information about somebody. But it's like, so for example, I was talking to this older lady. She's around, 37-ish. I feel like she's a little bit too old to be out with us.
Hey.
No offense. And so she's explaining to me that she had taught her sons, she said that she's teaching her sons now that, yeah, a man should pay on the first date. Okay, and so I interview a second person. She's younger, 21-ish, 22-ish, and she's like, she had this attitude that, you know, she almost felt entitled, like, yeah, a man should pay on the first date. I deserve that. And then she goes on to explain, yeah, I've used people for free meals here and there. And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I hope that the previous lady, I hope her kids don't grow up to run into somebody like this, because they're going to get eaten alive. So for the next episode, I want to use one of Jesse's questions. I feel like he has a lot of good questions. One of them is, would a man have anything to do with a woman if it wasn't for sex? I thought about asking that, but I feel like I don't have a security team yet. And I feel like I would get in trouble if I asked some people that. They might not take too kindly to it. So I think for the next one, I want to ask, should a man share his emotions with a woman? I'm very curious as to what people my age would say. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun going out on the street, talking to people. And it's weird because, like, when you put a microphone and a camera in someone's face, they're so willing to share their life story with you. But if I didn't have the camera and the mic, it's like they would just look at me like I'm crazy. So I just walk up to people. I don't even introduce myself or anything. I just, go right into the question. And it's weird how they'll just kind of like continue to talk on and on and on. So yeah, that was 2019. The moral of that story is go check out my YouTube channel, Word on the Street. So from here, I don't know where to go, Jesse.
All right. So how were you afraid doing that? Talking right now?
Yeah.
What were you afraid of?
I guess running out of things to say.
So did you run out of things?
Right now, yeah.
Anybody have a question for him? No? So you think that women who are 30-something are old women?
I feel like they're too old to be out at the club and borrow me. Yeah.
How old are you?
28.
28. So 30 seem old.
37, yeah.
Amazing. Isn't that like amazing? So you wouldn't date older women?
Not anymore, no.
You used to?
Yeah, well, not date. I used to see them. Yeah.
I used to see them.
Yeah.
Oh, you just go and look at them?
That comes back to the whole sex.
So if it wasn't for sex, would men have anything to do with a woman? With women? Can they see him on camera?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If it wasn't for sex, would you have anything to do with a woman?
At this stage, yeah.
If it wasn't for sex, you would still have something to do with her?
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
So men, we place women into two categories when we meet them. Actually, I don't want to get into the categories, not on camera. But yeah, I would. So like, at this stage, eventually I want kids. So, meeting a woman, I would see if, potentially they could be a good mom. So, yeah, I don't necessarily need sex at this stage.
Amazing. Well, I appreciate it. So the beta part is gone now, right? A beta when it's speaking in front of people?
I don't know. I might have to do it again, test it out.
All right. All right. Thank you, man.
Thanks.
That was amazing. Give us a joy.
Thank you, guys.
I used to, when James first started coming to Bond, I did that with him because he was like, sugar water. And I would bring him up and let him open up the church service. And after a while, he got really good, or he got nervous, and he said, well, if you don't stop, I'm not coming back. Isn't that amazing? And so now you can't tell that he was very weak at first. So you got to face it. When you face it, you will overcome it. Thank you, Duran. That's amazing. So, any questions about anything? No? All right. My biblical, who was here last Sunday? What's the theme? Oh, you do have a question? Okay.
Oh,
Good morning.
So, we were here last week, but my question has to do with a situation with me and my son.
Okay.
Okay, so he's 26, and since listening to you, I think we shared with you last week, we've been watching you for a while now. So I did work dealing with my mother, my father, and this week has actually been like a huge week with my sister and I, with our parents. And
Yes.
and last week I told you, I don't know if you remember, we were leaving and my mom had asked us where we were going, and we said we were coming to visit you and we were going to pay for it. Boy, she attacked us like she did, and we had
She
to
attacked you for coming to church?
well, not for that, but she brought other stuff up, and I stood up to her, and I, which has, I feel really good doing that.
Right on.
But now, so I have my son, he's 26, and I shared with you, I haven't been working, I haven't been able to find a job for like 7 months now.
Uh-huh.
So right now, we split the rent 3 ways, but now since I'm not working, I haven't been able to find a job. My sister and my son are putting my half, but I'm still looking. And in the past, I used to be, when I would try to reprimand, and from being little, I would always react as a typical mom, snarky, sarcastic. I would correct him in a sarcastic way. So I've changed, and I've become very aware of that part of my behavior.
Yes.
So my sister brought it to my attention this morning. In fact, we were driving in, and we were dropping him off at work because there was a situation with the car and parking and all that. So I had said, "Oh, Shane," I said, "Please, if I'm coming off strong, I don't mean," and I always, because I'm aware of my pushiness and my bossiness, so I always want to let him know. If you feel that at any time I'm being bossy or pushy, please let me know, because I don't want to be that way with you. So I said, X, Y, is why take down Mar when this and that? And so he answered me with anger.
Yes.
And he stood angry, and we could feel his energy. And then we had also said, and a while had passed, and I said we were passing Caltech, and I said, "Oh, Shane, what about was working at Trader Joe's?" And he's like, "I'm going to do this," and and I was like, okay. So my sister had brought that to my attention, that to ask you, how do I then resolve that with him staying angry with me when you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's scary when he gets mad.
Yeah.
'Cause he's big.
He's 26, right?
He's 26.
You
yeah.
got to let him go completely.
Okay.
He shouldn't be living with you. He shouldn't
Right.
be sharing rent. He shouldn't be. You should not be driving him to work. He needs to get away from you.
Well, I
completely.
just dropped him off he has his own car. I never do that.
Right, but he shouldn't be living with you either.
Right, I understand
Because
that, yes.
when boys and girls, adults live with their mothers, they're not going to let their kids go.
Okay.
Even knowing what you know, that nature that you're overcoming, will still hold on to him. So you got to tell him, "I'm sorry for what I've done to you.
Right.
You should forgive me so that you can overcome me." But you need to let him go completely. He needs his own place, far away from you, not down the road, but far away from you. And let him go, make no more suggestions to him.
Okay.
Don't tell him how to live his life. Don't protect him in that way. Otherwise, he's never going to grow. He got to get away from you.
Yeah. Then we did suggest him to come to the men's forum on Thursday.
Oh, good.
But deep down, I know why he didn't want to come, because I knew you would tell him that,
Yeah.
to move. And
Yeah.
that's kind of my way of getting him to also,
Why haven't you told him to move, giving him a notice that you got to go?
because I never realized that before, and that's something that I'm dealing with as well, and
Yeah.
working forward, dealing with that as well as.
Is it hard to let him go?
It is, I know that it's the right thing to do.
Yes.
Yes, it is hard, and I'm being.
And why is it hard to let him go? What's in there that want him?
I don't know, that's a good question. Because I guess because I have been a very controlling, I know that I've always been a very bossy, domineering person. I was
Right.
a single parent, but I've never spoken ill of his father. Nobody's, and I always do tell him, your father loves you, and he just couldn't handle
Right.
this. He has,
Well, let him go. Give him a month notice or so, and just say, you got to move because you're not going to grow around me. So you got to get out there and make your own mistakes and overcome the world yourself. All right? If she doesn't, beat her up, all right?
Oh, I've
I've been telling her this, and I was like, you're really being really overprotective with him.
He got to go. He's too old to be living at home. That's gross. It really is gross.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to turn him into your husband
Right.
if you don't let him go.
Right.
She hasn't forgiven our dad yet, and I think that has a
Oh,
lot to do
no
with it,
wonder.
too. She's forgiven our mom, but not our dad.
Go and forgive your father too. All right?
Her biggest beef is what her dad, and my biggest beef was with my mom.
Yeah,
And I forgave both of them already, but I told her, you gotta forgive Pop.
you do.
Yeah.
So I want to warn all of you out there in the world and here, when you get married, get away from mama.
Yeah.
Get away from in-law mama, get away from mama and move way over there. Because mama will follow you to hell before she set you free. And your marriage is not going to work if she stays in the middle of it. Because she want to control you, she want to control the man or the woman you're with. She want control. She can't help it. So you're not going to have a marriage if she stays around. All right? Someone was telling me that these people that live way over yonder, the daughter moved away from one state to another one, and then the mother kept carrying on about it. So the daughter said, all right, you can come live with me. And the mother brought herself and the rest of the kids. And just one daughter got to take care of the whole family, right?
Yes.
And so the daughter said, all right, you guys can stay here. I'm going to buy a house and I'm going to move. And the mother like, well, don't move too far away. And the daughter said, well, I'm moving. And the mother found out where the daughter is buying the house. And the mother went and bought the house next door. Mm-hmm. And the daughter's like, don't do that. And the daughter started crying because the mother won't go away. Isn't that like evil? Total evil. So don't move next door. Don't let her come to your house. And don't let her raise your kids. I know a lot of people think, oh, it's nice to have mama around. Mother will watch over the kids while I'm at work, right? But while you're at work, the same thing she did to you, she's doing it to the children. She's turning them against you. She's spoiling them. She's deceiving them. And don't do that. Scott, when you get married, don't let her mama come around or your mama. You know?
I know. We've talked about this.
Yeah. Make sure you guys settle on that before marriage. Because mama's not going to like it. And if the man try to stand up to her, oh, that's a bad son-in-law. He's no good, right? But you got to get out. Even God said when you get married, go away from your family. Away and live and create your own family. So don't do it, folks. Just FYI. But you can do it if you want. Suffer and die. It's not going to be pleasant at all. All right? Let him go. I know a guy who is 60-something years old right now, and he wanted to commit suicide because his mother would not let him go when he was real young, in his early 20s. And I told him, move away from mama. And she sent the daughters off, but she wouldn't let him go. She turned him into a woman. And now he's in his 60s, depressed, and she won't die. He was like hoping she died soon, but she won't die. Now she has Alzheimer's and he feels like he got to take care of her. I'm like, no, put it in an oval home. He's like, no, I feel so guilty. He won't let her go. So let your son go. If you love him, you will put him out. That makes sense? What?
No,
Why don't they have, how come, like for me and her, like we've been on our own since we were 18.
Yeah.
And we're different, she and I were different and anyway, so why is it that he doesn't have the courage to just say, I want to go? Is it
because she set him up like that while he was growing up. She made him dependent on her, even when he was a kid, so he doesn't have the courage to leave.
So how does she apologize to him so he can't be not, so he can't not, so he doesn't have
By
to
being
be,
honest with him, say, look, I
Yeah.
created you, recreated you in my image. It's not normal that you're afraid to leave home. It's not normal that you're staying with me. It's not normal, so you need to go. I apologize for that.
Okay.
But she set him up that way. And then if he wanted to move, he would feel guilty about it because I don't want to leave mama. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not the money, because I told her, I go, he could get another job.
I know it's not the money. Yeah.
When we left, we had 2 jobs, you know.
But she said about that way.
Yeah. Okay.
When I was growing up, from day one, we were told you're out of here at 18 years old. You know, and my grandmother used to remind me of that all the time. Like, okay, you out of here at 18. And I'm like, well, where I'm going? Because I'm living on a plantation in Alabama, right? And I'm like, well, where am I going to go? She's like, I don't care and I don't know, but you're out of here. So my mindset was like that. And then she taught me to work and be responsible. And when I turned 18, I was out of there. The doors just opened up for me and I left. I haven't looked back because I was raised that way with that mentality, whereas some mothers tend to not do that for their sons and daughters. They want them dependent on them. Amazing, huh?
And should I, in addition to talking, should I show him this, have him see this as well, or is that me being a coward?
Yeah, tell him and he can see it. He can watch it.
Watch this and
Yeah.
see, okay.
But just apologize and let him go.
Yeah, I have apologized to him for other stuff about, when I was.
Yeah, we'll set him free. All right? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My biblical question. Who is familiar with my biblical question this week? Oh, okay. Right here, the glasses.
Are white people the only racist people?
Right. Is this your first time here?
Yes.
What's your name?
It's an honor to meet you.
Thank you, man. I'm glad you're here.
I'm Mesbah.
So, are white people the only racist people?
Yes, that was the biblical question, right?
Right. And what's the answer to that?
I think it's complicated.
It's complicated? Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
It's on. Yeah.
Oh, it's on.
It's not going to make it louder here. It's
Okay.
just so that people online can hear.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. What's complicated about that?
Well, I mean, it depends on, I guess, how you define racism, first of all. And then,
It
I mean,
depends
you can
on
have a
what?
whole academic conversation about that. So,
It depends on what now?
how you define racism, and you can have like a whole academic conversation on that. Like, a lot of people would say racism is prejudice plus power.
What do
Now,
you say?
That's what I would say.
Oh.
Racism is prejudice plus power. I think everyone can be bigoted or prejudiced, but I don't think everyone can be racist.
And
Just
so
because you
which
need
one
power
are
to
you
be racist.
bigoted? A bigot?
I
Or
think
are you
everyone's
prejudiced,
capable
or are
of
you
it.
racist?
I think everyone in here is.
How about you?
Yes, including myself.
You all those things?
Yeah, we all have that potential. We
Oh,
can all
really?
be bigoted sometimes. But
How old
the
are you?
idea is to fight against that.
How old are you?
I am 30.
How do you fight against that?
Just learn from, you know what, it's basically like correcting yourself. You always say you have to correct somebody, or like a man has to correct his wife or something like that. I watched a lot of your videos, but like it's basically about correcting yourself, realizing you were wrong in the past.
So you're a racist?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I'm
Are
just
you a
saying that
bigot? You're a bigot?
everyone is capable of bigotry.
How about you? Are you a bigot?
And we've all engaged in it at
How
some
about
point.
you?
I try not to be.
Are you?
I try not to be.
Are you?
I try not to be. Oh, you want a yes or no? I love this. This is like one of the legendary YouTube
Are you a
stuff.
bigot?
I try not to be.
Are you?
I try not to be. You want a yes or no? I know that. But
Right.
like, yeah, I just try my best not to be.
That means that you are and you try not to be.
Exactly.
But what is a bigot?
I feel like it's like, for example, I mean, you can even like engage in bigotry, for example, like if you pass by someone and you just judge them on the outside, like this is a shady character, so I need to clench my purse a little tighter, for example, or I need to like,
Your purse?
go to the other side of the,
Did you say purse?
go to the other sidewalk as opposed to walking on the same sidewalk as them, you just judge someone based on what you see.
Are you a
as
Christian?
opposed to, no.
You're not. Do you believe in God?
Yeah.
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 Can I hear a beta?
Beta bell. Yeah. That's like strong belief, huh?
Yeah.
And so you believe in God?
A little bit.
A little bit. Oh,
Somewhat.
you need help. I'm
Yeah.
glad you're here.
Yes, absolutely. Me too.
Any question for me?
Can you say a great white hope?
So what now?
Can you say Great White Hope?
The Great White Hope. Are you voting for it?
No,
You're not?
absolutely not. But
You're not
it's just I've seen you say and do all these things on
Yeah.
YouTube. I just
So
wanted to
you're
say
not
it live.
voting for the Great White Hope?
No,
Why not?
absolutely not.
I'm not encouraging you to or not
Not to,
whatever.
yeah.
Why you're not voting
I
for
mean,
it?
it's just he's a buffoon. It's just,
That's
but-
amazing. A bigot called a president a buffoon.
yeah.
I've heard it all.
I mean, he was
Amazing.
halfway
All right.
intelligent.
Well, when you said you clenched your purse, I didn't think you voted for him.
Believe me,
Amazing.
we live in LA, man. Come on.
Yeah, that's right. Right here.
Thank you, Joe.
You want to respond to the biblical question, right? Are all white people, are only white people racist?
Can I tell you what Satan told me first?
If you have to.
Well,
Well, answer the question first.
Okay. Well, okay, yes.
Are only
White-
white people racist?
Right, only white people are racist.
Really? And you're white, right?
Yes. No, I'm ginger. We're a different race.
You're what?
Well, I'm ginger. I'm white skinned, but I'm a ginger. We're a different
This is
race,
an interesting start this morning.
That's my
Y'all been smoking pot.
nearly every day when I'm in LA, yeah.
So you had some this morning?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, no wonder. And so why do you believe only white people are racist?
No, I don't really believe that, no.
Oh, you do not believe that?
But that's what I see in
What
the
do you-
world.
That's what you see?
In the world, yeah.
You see white racist people in the world.
Well, because racism, the definition that I read last time I checked was a person who thinks their race is better than everyone else, right? Or better than, holds one race superior to another.
Right.
So I was just thinking that, well, if white people created America, the greatest nation on earth, as you point out, right?
Right.
That would give white people cause to believe that they were better than everyone else, right? So then, if everyone kind of knows that, then everyone can see that could explain why people think, well, you kind of have this idea that only white people can be racist.
Amazing.
Which, if you believe in racism, is stupid for a start, because there's so much evidence of other people claiming that their race is the best. And we all know it's the gingers, everyone knows it. But, Trevor Wesley.
So listen, you believe that white people are racist, are the only racist people because they built America? And because they built America, they feel like they're special or over everybody else?
Well, you know, it's not just America, it's this whole thing about Western civilization kind of being the greatest, you know?
Right.
I don't necessarily
so-
believe that, no, I don't. But, you know, I can see that it's got a lot
Oh,
of
you
good
can
stuff
see
going
why
for it.
people would think that,
Right.
but you don't see it as being that way?
Actually, yeah, I do, yeah.
You do see it.
Yeah, I
though.
do see it that way.
You see that only white people could be racist.
No, I don't believe that racism really exists. I'm kind of with you on that one. You convince me.
So what do you see there?
That people believe in racism, and a lot of people who believe in racism tend to
Oh,
identify
so you think that
racism
people
with white
believe
people.
it. Oh, I see. Because people believe there's racism,
Right.
they believe white people are the only racists
Right.
because they created the best country.
Right.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Kind of thing.
But
somewhere
you don't
along.
see it that way.
Not really, no.
You don't think white people are
Well,
racist?
that was a stream of thoughts that came to me, and I was like, okay, Satan, I'll tell Jesse about it, see if he...
I'm glad you did.
Thank you.
Any other crazy person in here? What do you think about that question? Are only white people racist? I mean, yeah, racist people?
No, actually, I don't believe that white people are the only racist people.
Do you believe that they are racist, white people?
From what I have experienced, I can't say that. No, I don't think so.
You don't believe that white people are racist?
Well, when I looked up the definition of racist, it had something to do with someone believing that they were superior. And my experience with white people, I never really got that vibe. I grew up around a lot of black people, I'm from New Orleans, so there was a
I'm
lot
sorry to hear that.
And
My prayer goes out to you.
I need them.
But no, so you don't believe white people are racist at all?
I don't believe. Well, in my experience, it seems that I got more of that type of superior vibe from black people. You know, growing up, it was, you know, who was the fastest runners, who was the best boxers, who was the, you know, the people that the best dancers, you know. And white people just seem to be clowned all the time by black people. It was like, oh, they can't dance, they don't know how to dress, they have no style, you know. And I didn't really see it the other way.
Right.
You know, but I was told, you know.
And when you were told that white people were racist, did you believe it?
Yeah.
You didn't believe it at one point?
Yeah,
Do you
because
still believe it?
no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that reality in the imagination has a lot to do with intellectual facts and things that you see, and
Yeah.
and now I'm starting to think that everything that I've witnessed has been a more or less a big propaganda campaign, even
Oh,
with
okay.
history. So if you believe history and you believe what you see on TV, you're probably going to believe that whites are racist.
Amazing. Duran, are you white?
Yeah, quarter Irish.
Oh, hold on. Let me ask a white man. So, Duran, do you believe white people can only be racist?
No.
It's only white people who are racist?
No,
And why don't you believe that?
because I've seen, you know, Mexicans act crazy towards blacks. I've seen blacks act crazy towards Mexicans. So I've seen everyone be racist at one point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You say you're white. You kind of look white, but you kind of look Mexican, mixed with a little black.
When you first see me, what did I look like?
Like everything.
Like every.
You know, Mexican, white, and black.
Yeah. That's funny.
Are you mixed up with everything?
I'm a Native American, Mexican, and Irish.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. Amazing. So let me tell you why I asked this question. Because I want you to start thinking for yourself. Because if you listen to the experts and the people with the degrees and all that, they're going to lead you down the wrong path. And you need to start thinking for yourself. Number one is kind of what I think you said, is that any angry person think that they are superior to another person. They think they're better than other people. Angry people think that way because it's all ego. And so white people who built America, I'm sure some of them think they're better than everyone else because they built America. But then the blacks think that they're the first on the earth and they created everything, and so they think they're better. The Mexicans think that they're better because they think California belongs to them, at least a portion of it, right? All ego think that they're better than the next. It's not true, but it's an illusion. And that's why I wanted to ask that question, because I noticed that there have been an attack on Jews lately in New York and other places. You heard about that, right? And so what they did, they passed laws to protect the Jews. They now have Jew laws. You can't talk to the Jew the wrong way. You can't mess with them, right? And they call it anti-Semitism or something like that. And then they passed laws to protect the blacks. It's called hate crime. If you attack the blacks, all of a sudden it's a hate crime. But there are no laws to protect the whites. There's no like anti-white law. You can kill the whites, you can rape them, you can murder them, you can break into their homes, you can take their money, but no laws for the whites. And to me, I don't understand how they are able to get away with that, and white people don't say anything about it. And white people are under attack all the time by people of color in so many ways because they're accused of being racist and everything is their fault. And if white people disagree, all of a sudden they're racist. So white people are afraid to disagree, so now everybody's attacking them, but there are no white laws to protect them. Anybody notice that?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that in the black shirt right here?
Me, sir?
No, the young man. Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that.
And what do you think about that?
I think it's crazy. I mean, I don't necessarily want white laws. I just want everybody to kind of drop that behavior, you know?
Yeah. We need laws just to protect the people. If you commit a crime against the people, you go to jail or whatever, right? But now in America, they have Jewish laws, black laws, Mexican laws, but no white laws. It must be hard to live in America being white. Are you white?
I'm white. I'm also Mexican, though.
Okay, you look more white. What is it like living in the country knowing that you're hated so much and that you're not protected?
I feel like that's only been, during the time of Donald Trump, especially when I came out as a supporter of his. I didn't really think about that kind of stuff, a few years ago. Maybe I was just kind of living in my bubble, but just in the last few years, I feel like things have gotten a lot more crazy. But there's always been that, because I'm like the whitest one in my family because I had a white dad. A lot of my family, like my cousins are all, Mexican, brown.
Okay.
So they would always look at me a little differently. If I had a different preference, they, I'd say it's because I'm white. And it was just always kind of funny to me. It didn't matter. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's always been there. But just in the last few years, I definitely see white people under attack, especially in the media. The mainstream media is just, I'd say, very anti-white, especially the liberal media.
Are you afraid to speak up in the public?
No, I actually enjoy it. I kind of,
good. Yeah, don't be afraid. One of the reasons that it's like this because it is a spiritual battle between good and evil, right versus wrong. And white people have been accused for a long time now of being racist and all that crap. And they have not spoken up for themselves, and that's why they're the underdog now. Because if you don't speak up for yourself, you're not going to get better. You got to speak up. Even if you're wrong, at least speak up. And then you see, oh, okay, that was wrong. But at least you didn't hold it in. You spoke up, and life will get better for you. So you got to speak up. And the world, as I've said, the world is the Old Testament. Everything that's in the Bible, in the Old Testament, is happening in the world right now. Everything is happening. And the New Testament is in our heart. It's kept away from the children of Satan. And only God allow you to come in, and that way you'll be in the world but not of it. But you got to start speaking up. There's nothing to be afraid of, really. If they call you names, so what? I'm called so many names, I could write a book with just some name calling. Uncle Tom, I've been called nigger so much, I think I'm going to make a nigger t-shirt. I'm going to say, I'm a nigger. Already, they call me Uncle Tom. They say, you Tommy like a mug, right? So now I have a t-shirt that says, Tommy like a mug. I don't care about words. When you're born again of God, when you're in the world but not of it, words don't bother you at all. Really, they just roll off your back. Because the only way that the children of the light can control you, either name calling or threatening you or anything. So if they can control you like that, they got you. All right? You got to overcome the world. You must be born again. All right? I saw a hand. Yes, sir.
So it's kind of interesting because I was talking over the holidays. I went back home and was like hanging out with some old high school friends of mine, and we were kind of talking a little bit about this too, about like how the world's kind of gotten so sensitive and everyone's so easily offended, especially with race. Yeah. And I went to a high school like kind of in the city, in like an inner city area. Not like a bad part or anything, but it was a genuinely diverse school. Like it was pretty mixed up, but like not like forced diversity. It just by geography. That's kind of like how it turned out. Right. And it was an all guys high school too, so that probably had a lot to do with the fact that no one really got offended over anything. It was sort of just like, I don't know how it was. And we were talking about like we used to make some pretty, off-color jokes that were race-based, but not like in a spiteful way, just because we were young and stupid. I still make
those jokes.
Yeah, no, and we were talking about that. I'm like, we were never offended by it. Like, right. We laughed about it. And like, whoever can make the funniest, most off-color joke usually kind of got the most respect, And then nobody took it personally. All my black friends had some really good jokes about white folks or Chinese or Asian people, and back and forth, and we were like rolling them off again, and we were talking about that, and like, what does it feel like to be offended? Like, why would you let a word, right, or a joke or whatever offend you, and then you go and get laws passed as a result of that? Like, why is that a thing? But then I was thinking about you, and I've heard this before of other folks that grew up in the South during the Jim Crow era. What about the laws that go the other way, where there are laws in effect that say only black folks can use this bathroom or this water fountain, and if you go into the white folks line, you get beat up and arrested? Like, wouldn't you say that that's just as evil, or whether or not you call it racist? I know that that's just a word that people made up, but isn't it still wrong to say this line is just for black folks, this line is just for white folks?
Absolutely. Because we are American, right? Yeah. So if we are truly American, there shouldn't be anything to divide us like that.
Yeah.
And so, but when we were growing up, because black people had character and they had family, they understood that it was just a law. But not all white people felt that or believed that way, right? It was just a law. And no one really argued with each other about it. We knew it was wrong.
So you knew the law was wrong?
Yeah, we knew the law was wrong, but it didn't affect our lives at all.
So when you say that things were better for black folks at that time, it wasn't because of those laws. It was just the fact that...
It was because black people had family.
Yeah.
They were not taught to hate white people. They knew that there were good and bad in all cultures and all races, so we were not taught to hate anybody.
Gotcha.
We knew there were bad people and there were good people. And and they had a father and a mother, they had the grandparents around, we were taught to work. There were black people buying things and getting an education and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
That kind of mentality about racism did not exist. No such word even existed that I was aware of, a word called racist.
Right.
Because we were told all the time to treat people the way that you would like to be treated. And that's what we did.
Gotcha. Okay.
Amazing.
Thanks.
Any other questions about that? Right here.
She rolled her eyes.
Who did?
She did. Just to elaborate, because you've been saying about back in the past, and I was thinking, and how you're saying how black people in the past had more with the family and everything.
Yes.
And it's even true when people start, I don't know how many people still, like I like to watch old movies, and even the way they portrayed the black family, even though they were on a plantation, but the father was always there.
Yeah.
They always, you think of like To Kill a Mockingbird, that's a classic novel.
Right.
And in that movie, they were right. The wrong people, they were with the family, they were always portrayed as, hardworking people and doing the right thing. And then going back to, I think that with the racism that is here, because we experienced that, people asking us if we're Latino also. And I know when we went on vacation to Mexico and we were talking to the driver and the other people on the tour with us, they were white. And so my mom started talking to the man in Spanish and he's like, oh, you speak Spanish? And they were like surprised because actually my mom looks more Middle Eastern. And she was like, oh, yes, we're Mexican. He said, oh, you're not Mexican. You're not from here. You're Americans. And it was like, and it's so true. And then also, if you think that comedian, what is he, Iglesias, Fluffy, he had said in one of his shows that he had somebody from Iraq had asked him to go over there and to perform, and he talks about his whole journey over there and everything, and he talks about the first time he felt as an American was the first time he was over there because they introduced him as the American comedian Gabriel Iglesias.
That's right.
Versus here, they put the title Mexican on him first. So I wonder if we just do that here, because I've never been abroad internationally other than.
I would just recommend you overcome the world, be yourself, and live your life, because the world is not going to let you be free. They want to control you, so they have to deceive you. But once you overcome the world, they cannot deceive you, nor can they control you. It's really crazy. And anyone who has fear or doubt or worry or any of that stuff, you have not been born again. Satan is still your daddy. Because in love, there is no fear. There is no doubt. It's so amazing how that is. And you are willing to just be you. You're not afraid to just be yourself, and most people are not themselves. They're afraid to be themselves. And I know this all changed because the men became weak. That order of God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children, when that order was reversed during the civil rights movement, during the time that the women started taking over the women movement, that's when everything started to go to hell in a handbasket, because the order of God was not working. It didn't come down. It's not, love comes from above, not from below. And so now you have men who are afraid to be men. There are guys who are afraid to go into a toilet and stand up and pee. They have to sit down because they don't want to offend the woman. What do y'all think about that? Men, I've never thought that I would live to see the day when men were afraid. How do you be afraid to be a man? Even if you're gay, right? You still know that you're a man. You know, you may have to go along with the gay stuff until you learn how to overcome it. But you still know that you're a man. I wouldn't give up my masculinity. I don't care what. You know what I'm saying? I will fight to get back to myself. Even though I may be traumatized with some other identity, I still know that I'm a man. I'm a male, but men are willing to give up their madness. Okay, ladies, you can have it. What do you want me to do? You want me to dress in a dress? You want me to take off my body parts? I'll do it. The husband let the women take the kids' body parts off. There's this guy in Florida, basketball player, I think. What's his name? What? Dwyane Wade. Total beta male. I mean, just beta male. He's taking off, he's turning his little son into a girl. He now calls his own son a she. And then he let the wife promote it. I would divorce her so fast and make her head swim. It's not even her child, right? He's literally turning his son over to the devil. You have to be out of your mind to do something like that. Okay, my son may be gay, but I'm going to try to figure out how to help him overcome it. I'm not going to take him, or my daughter, I'm not going to take them and turn them into something that they're not. They will never be happy. There's this guy, he's a singer. What's his name, Jane? You sent me his video.
Oh, Sam Smith? Is it Sam?
You know who Sam Smith is? So he has a nice voice, but he's total gay, right? So he had this new song out. I wanted to see it, see what it looked like, and James sent it to me. And they got these guys dancing around. I'm like, these guys are just too gay. They're like, too gay. Can't you be like, too gay? Right? You're not supposed to be old and gay, and you're not supposed to be too gay. All these guys dancing around, they acting like women in a song. I'm like, what the? So, but this is not going to change until you overcome. You must be born again. You got to overcome your mothers and return to the fathers, and then things will change. Really. And women love men who are real men. In their nature, they want a real man. A woman does not want a man who's going to cater to her, afraid to be himself, afraid to correct her, afraid to lead the way. They don't want that. They'll take it, but that's not what they want. I was talking to a lady at the bank the other day, and she asked me, well, what is Bond about? Because I had on the Bond t-shirt. And I said, we were rebuilding a man, rebuilding a family by rebuilding a man. She said, how are you doing that? She asked. I said, we're showing men how to overcome mama and return to the father, how to be men, not to be afraid. She's like, my boyfriend need to hear this. She did. I was surprised she said that. My boyfriend need to hear this. I said, so just tell him or let him watch my show or something. She's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, why not? She said because she liked the control that she has over him, but she doesn't like it. And so she's not going to tell him because she doesn't really want him to change. But yeah, she does. Isn't that amazing? She won't, like, that's evil not to tell him. And she'll end up marrying him, and he'll end up becoming a little boy, and she'll become the wife, the mama. It's a spiritual battle. It's okay to be men, and it's okay to be ladies. It's okay. And it's okay to disagree with people who don't think that you should be yourself. Let them think what they want. They're saying and doing whatever they want. All right? It's a spiritual battle. Any other question about anything?
I want to answer this.
Okay.
Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning, sir.
All right. How are you?
All is well. How are you?
All is well. I'm
Good,
fine.
buddy.
I made it over here, bobbing and weaving, but I'm here.
Is this your first time here?
No, second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just not. But I think we're all to blame.
When you say you were bobbing and weaving, you were high?
No, I was going through the freeway.
You were what?
I was flying through the freeway to get here on time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
And then LA traffic is like super fast. Yeah.
I'm going to Jesse. Okay.
Just want to answer your biblical question.
Oh, white people are the only racist people.
I don't think so, because I think we're all to blame. Because, you know, as well, obviously you see like the news and stuff. Only successful people, like they motivate each other and they strengthen each other. And And obviously we see the opposite side, which are hateful, and they want to just destroy everything. And
absolutely,
I just think that.
Are you surprised that white people won't speak up for themselves?
It's kind of sad to watch. It's like it hurts to watch them.
Yeah.
Because I went through a situation during work this week, and then I had to stand up to another coworker of mine, and he was just calling me out because some situation he asked one of us to do it when he could have done it himself, and he got very emotional, like beta emotional, like really bad, and I didn't care, and my other colleagues, they were all white, and they were just like, we ain't gonna help him either because he can do it himself. And then he just went to go tell the manager, which he was white, and the manager came, he's like, oh, be nice to the little boy. He's like, oh, okay. And we were just like over it, you know?
Yeah.
And then he just confronted me, you got a problem with me or something? And he started cussing at me. I'm like, you know what? Whatever, dude. Like, you try to touch me, bro, I'm gonna call the cops on you, bro. I'm just letting you know.
That's
like,
right.
I stood up to him.
Right on.
And even though, like, I did want to, like, you know, like, I wanted to, like, bang him right there on the spot, you know? Like, you don't disrespect people like that, you know? And
one thing I want you to know about, don't ever expect anyone to respect you, right? That's a weakness, really. You just be right and do right. You don't need the respect,
right?
Really, because anyone that want respect, people are going to take advantage of you. They're not going to respect you. They're not going to give you what you want. But if you just treat them right, speak up but don't hate, you'll be fine.
But the crazy thing is that my white brothers, they're like looking at me like, damn, he's actually standing up to him because he tends to talk to everybody with that beta male, like just like how women act, like crazy and they just want to control everything.
Yes.
And I'm grateful that I stood up to him, and
I am too.
You know, so that's what's going on.
Yeah, we got to start standing up, otherwise you will be destroyed. They passed a law in somewhere where you can't, the police officers are not allowed to chase criminals anymore. And the person said, well, in Atlanta, I believe it was, Atlanta, Georgia. The person said, well, I know that the crime will go up. I know that people will be hurt, but we got to do this. And the reason they're doing it because so many black people are in prisons and jails and stuff, and that they're trying to keep them out. And so that's why they're doing that. So many blacks have committed crime, and they don't, you know, they try to do that. It's just crazy. Put our lives at risk because you won't speak up. You keep voting them in. It's time to speak up. Yes, Mark.
One of my good friends is a police officer, and he's been one since for over 20 years, right? And I always ask him, where you work? And he'd say Watts, he'd say the Hollywood Hills, and oh, what happens there? What happens, you know? And he said, I just talked to him, and he said a few months ago, he was told to no longer do active police work. He can only respond to crimes.
Amazing.
So like before, they would, you know, be against a certain gang or like a certain problem in this neighborhood, and they would try to, you know, make a plan to deal with that and go after them. He's like, we're not allowed to do any active police work. We can only respond once a crime has happened and someone has dialed 911 and said there's an emergency. So if someone's driving down the street, doing whatever, they're not even allowed to stop them.
Amazing. Well, it's happening because men are weak and women are taking over. When a woman take over in the homes, when they take over at work, when they take over anywhere, weakness will come into the earth. That's how Satan is able to get in and destroy. Because women identify with their thoughts and emotions, and they tend to feel sorry for you, or they tend to feel a certain way, so they bring in these laws. And it's the same way in the home. When the father is weak in the home, your children will be destroyed because they know how to manipulate the mother. They know how to make her feel sad for them or how to feel this or that until they destroy. The men got to wake up in order for this to change. Anybody disagree with that? Well, okay. Did you have your hand?
Yeah, I was going to answer the question.
The biblical question? Okay. Is this your first time?
First time here.
Welcome. What's your first name?
Mark.
Welcome, Mark. Where are you from?
I live near Ventura.
Right on, man. Welcome. Go ahead.
So I think the higher thing that applies to this is there's a quote that says the devil, divide and conquer is the devil's own slogan. So
Yeah.
I think really what's going on in this country that people need to wake up to is the devil is at play in all of this. And
It's
he's
a
trying to
spiritual
divide
thing.
the hearts of every man, and he plays on each of our races. Every race has a weakness. And so he plays on that side.
Absolutely.
And that's what's going on. And when I see racism going on in this country and the media and everything that's going on, you can see Satan's hand in it. And the goal is to divide everyone and to keep us divided. And then this nation will be conquered by godless ideas and godless things. So you have to see it as a spiritual
Well,
fight.
I have hope because the men and women are waking up now. And when you wake up, you can't help but fight back in the right way. So I believe that things are going to get better.
I hope so.
We got a lot more stuff to go through because the men are just not overcoming. They didn't. A lot of men don't even know that it's supposed to be a man. They think and feel like when they came into the earth, where's Joel? When you were, not that Joel not being a man, but Joel have told me that, remember when you were born, men were already weak, right?
Oh yeah, it was just normal.
Yeah, it was normal to see weak men. Isn't that amazing?
Because there was no example of strong men, so.
Yeah. So he didn't even know that a man should be strong. How do you not know that? But a lot of, especially millennial men, don't know that they should be men. Amazing. And so we got to start setting some example. When you get married, man, be a man. All right? It's okay. It really okay. Yes, ma'am.
I have one question regarding to the woman's role within the household too.
Yes.
And because I've heard you saying a lot about what the woman shouldn't do, like how they shouldn't just, be emotional or like just guide or whatever.
The one thing I am absolutely sure about, there are some things I'm not sure about, but one thing I am sure about, emotional love is evil.
Yeah.
It's not love at all. If you just look around you, look at your family, look at the world, and wherever emotion is, it's nothing but weakness, nothing but destruction. It's an imitation of real love. It's not the real deal.
Yeah. So my question is basically, I know that women should respect the man, right? And let be obedient within them.
Right, obey your husband.
Obedient, that's what I understood. But when is the time when a woman has to speak up when something is going on?
A woman should always speak up. I mean, you're no different than the man in that. God loves us to say, right? You should always speak up, but don't hate.
Yeah.
That's the
so
problem.
you're
Women
saying
tend to hate the weakness of the man. So when she's speaking up, she's not speaking up in love to show him, to let him see where he's coming from. She's like destroying him.
Okay.
She's hating him. But you should speak up.
Okay. No, I'm just asking because I know that the obedient part, I got it. I understand that because I had it with my father, but the time of speaking up,
Yeah.
that's the part that I struggle a lot with.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like because of what you said, like women are emotional, and when I speak up, I'm saying like, is this worthy to speak up? Sometimes I think about it, and it just confuses a lot of the
Well, that's
emotions
why
and things.
you need to get to know yourself, because if you know yourself, you can see what's going on. Is this a time to speak up or not? You will see. And also you would do it with the right spirit. But you should speak up. I mean, nobody want to live a life where they cannot speak up.
Yeah.
Because you start hating yourself if you don't speak up.
Yeah.
And that's not good either. Are you obedient to your husband?
I don't have a husband.
Oh, no wonder. No. Will you be obedient to your husband?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
That's my purpose, yeah.
They always say yes before the marriage. No, okay. No, okay, good.
Yeah.
Good question. Any other question about anything? Right here. Oh, right there first, and then here. And then I got to ask you about our theme, all right? We're running out of time. Right, yeah.
I just had a quick question about the God to man, man to woman, and woman to children.
Right.
Like, do you know where that's at in the Bible? Because I seen it one time, and I was trying to check my dad. and I couldn't find it, but I think it's because my heart was not right.
Right. Do I know where it is in the Bible?
Yeah, because I've seen it. I read it like blatantly after we.
It's in Genesis. You could read just Genesis in the Bible and be satisfied.
I read it in the New
whole life
Testament.
is right there.
I read it in the New Testament. It was first. Oh damn.
Yeah.
I can't pass it.
It's hard to believe you read the Bible. You just don't look like you read the Bible. Oh, yeah. Okay, right here. But yeah, read Genesis. If you doubt anything I'm saying, it's in Genesis. Really.
Because the Genesis is like the family of.
Absolutely.
Starting the family. Morning, sir.
Good morning.
I just.
This your first time here?
I've been in and out. I came last couple times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
On your biblical question,
Yes.
I noticed a pattern, kind of like I love them. They're great because they get you thinking and.
Yes.
But like the whole Jesus created thing, and kind of we didn't really fully answer that. But I know for myself what the truth is on that. But this week's question was kind of
was Jesus Christ created?
No,
he was not.
No.
Why do you say no?
Well, he was begotten by the Father. So
okay.
When like I'm a male, and if I have a son, I don't create the son. He's begotten from
All right.
from me. So
Go ahead.
so I don't know. Is that 50% right?
Yeah.
Oh well, okay, kinda. Can I ask you a quick question about this week's
Yes.
question? All the answers you heard, are any of them kind of close to being right, or?
A little bit.
Okay.
First of all, there is no such thing as racism.
Right.
It's a
Well-
made-up word to control. And anyone who has anger is a son or a daughter of Satan. So it's really about evil versus good. And so the people who are on the side of evil, they're trying to destroy good. But they give it names like racism and sexism
Right.
and homophobia and whatever isn't right. And if you're blind and can't see, you'll follow those words, and they will control you with
I
it.
think I heard in your radio program, a lady called in asking about if you discriminate, and you say, yeah, of course you
I
have.
do discriminate.
You have to discriminate, 'cause
Yeah.
otherwise you're.
Everybody in the world discriminates.
Yeah. And.
But
I'm
don't
gonna-
hate.
I'm going to say something kind of strange. I'm not going to offend or say a curse word or anything.
Okay.
But, I mean, I'm going to say it's strange because I have a feeling about it. Might be strange, but I think maybe instead of, like your question, are all white people, what was it?
The only white people are the only racist people.
Right, and your question last week, I don't remember exact question from last week, but I remember that the answers people were giving were of the world, you mentioned.
Yes.
So they kind of, people got close to it, but I think in the world we have so many races of like black people, white people, Allahu Akbar people, you have
Allahu Akbar.
Chinese people, you have so many different people, so you can't say, and Chinese are not white or black, they're whatever they are, but, so I think in God's eyes, from a different perspective and not of the world, there's only people that are black and that are white, because it's our hearts that reflect who we are.
That's right.
So I think to answer your question with another question, the answer I think is that all black people are racist.
All black people are racist?
All black people are racist.
It doesn't exist. Black people are angry.
Well, I'm not saying that I'm not talking about skin here, I'm talking about people's hearts.
Are angry.
So people who have black souls or angry people are the actual, because racism exists for them.
In their mind, you're right.
In their mind, but I understand from your mind, it makes logical sense that
when
racism
you wake
doesn't
up,
exist.
you're going to see how crazy the world is,
Right.
and that
Racism
at
just
one
doesn't
time you
exist.
believed in it. It's going to be mind-blowing to you.
Right, and so for the people who are in the light, I don't think racism exists like most people hear it.
Right, absolutely. Right here and then here, all right?
Oh, hi.
Hey, buddy.
I'm Sam. I don't know if you remember me from San Francisco. I have 4 parents. They're all gay.
Oh, yeah. You know Sam.
Yeah.
With the gay parents.
Yeah.
Everybody gay. The mama gay, the daddy gay, the in-laws gay, the dog is gay. Welcome, man.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
It's kind of already been said, but like the way that I kind of view racism or whatever is that, like, I think the definition that everyone says, like the prejudice plus power thing, or the like discrimination based on race, both of those are, I don't like any of those definitions. Like hate based on race seems like the only kind of good definition. But the only people who would hate someone just because of their race are the same type of people who are going to hate people because of their job,
Absolutely.
how much money they have. So
Yeah.
Racism kind of exists if you just define it as that, but it's not constructive at all. Like, you're not going to get anywhere by defining it like that.
If you call it and you see it for what it is, that's where you're free from it. It's not about race at all. It's about the God that you serve. And every angry person serves Satan. They can't help it. And every person who is forgiven and they are free serve God. You can't help it.
Yeah.
It's about that. So you didn't turn out gay, right?
No.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I don't know how I turned out conservative either.
So I already know, I've talked to you on the phone, but as a person being the mama gay, the daddy gay, the dad is gay, how did you escape? Escape.
I don't know.
So how do you see that? I mean, how old are you now?
I just turned 19 in November.
Right on, man. How was it growing up in a family where everybody gay?
It was weird, but it felt kind of normal because I was in San Francisco, and and everyone would like applaud me for like I'd be like kind of like shy in like telling people that I had like 4 parents, but people would like applaud me and like be all happy for me that I had like 4 parents whenever I told people. They're like, oh, that's great. I'm like, is it though? But I don't know. It was just,
So as a kid, when they would applaud you for having 4 parents, right, so-called parents, you still knew something wrong with it?
yeah.
That's beautiful.
I recently found this out when I graduated. My mom had like a book of quotes from when I was a baby, and one of them was like, "Why do I have 4 parents? I only have 2," or something like that. And I was like, based and red pilled when I was like 2 years old. Epic. Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm glad you're here, man.
Yeah, I'm really
It's
glad
good to meet you in person.
Yeah.
I think about your story often. I just don't. God was with you, man.
Thank you.
That's amazing. So how are you doing now?
Okay, I started to like, I really noticed that, especially being in college, being in college now and being surrounded by a lot of really liberal people.
Right.
I kind of started to identify with the conservative thing and like overshare my opinions and stuff like that.
Right.
Because I was going to ask you, like, do you think that you should share your opinions when they're not asked? Like, if there's no like situation where like you should share it to like step up and like stand up for something, should you just share your opinions to share your opinions?
No.
Because I feel like
Absolutely
it's just
no.
something to say for attention.
No, don't do it. You'll see when to and when not to. A lot of people, they go to work, they be all, you hate your mama, you hate your dad, and blah, blah, and then you get fired, right? And like, oh, why did I get fired? Why do you think you got fired? No, there's a time to speak and a time to be quiet. All right?
And kind of on the racism, I don't want to overshare, but kind of on the racism thing, I took an ethnic studies class for like a core curriculum thing. And I said one thing about like a blackface incident at the school or something about like the school doing, like not how they shouldn't do something because it was in their free time or whatever.
Right.
And all the black people stood up and left in like 20 minutes into class, and then they all sit in the front of the like front 2 rows.
Right.
And they made a group chat about me, and they meet after class. And then afterwards, we were talking about stereotypes of black women and how they're like overly aggressive and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then after class, they all like circled around me, and then this one black girl was like, talking about how I should shut my mouth or else she's gonna like start like beating me up or something like that. I'm like,
wow.
You're not helping your case out with this.
I know. They're proving you right.
Yeah.
But you have a way out. Just say, hey, I have 4 parents.
Yeah. They said that I should be on their side.
Yeah, tell them I am on your side. I have 4 parents.
And I'm Mexican.
Right.
Yeah. What do you mean I'm racist? I can't be racist.
You can't be
I'm
racist.
brown.
4 parents and Mexican. It doesn't get any better than that. Amazing. Well, welcome, man. I'm glad you showed up.
Thank you.
That's amazing. I think about your situation, man, and God is with you. All right? You made it through that. You can make it through anything, especially being a kid growing up in that environment. All right? Any other questions?
No, this is kind of unreal. This is just kind of for me, but I was thinking about changing my name because I have a hyphenated name.
You gonna call yourself nigger?
Yeah, no. But
that's what I changed my name to.
Actually, my middle name's Francisco.
Oh,
so
it
it's
is?
Sam Francisco. Like, oh, what a mess.
Yeah, I would change mine too.
But I was thinking about changing my name because it's a hyphenated name with my mom's name and my dad's name. I was thinking just having my dad's name because I don't really.
Yeah, change your name.
Yeah.
Do it tomorrow.
Just Sanchez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. You don't want to be reminded of San Francisco. All right? That's a good idea. All right? Okay.
Sorry for taking up so much time.
No, don't be sorry. This is for us. We're fellowshipping here, right? So no problem. You came a long ways too. And you've been through hell. You deserve some patience. All right?
I drove down like in the morning and I slept in my car.
Oh, you drove down here this morning?
Yeah, this morning.
Is that like 8 hours? 5 hours?
It was like 6 because it was not too crowded because it was at like 4 in the morning. But
Amazing. Well, I'm glad you're here, man.
Yeah.
If you have any other questions, raise your hand.
I also have a counseling appointment with you tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm excited for that.
Oh, amazing. Right here.
I don't know why he reminds me of Dane. Remember Dane? The military? He was a young guy. I don't know. He haven't seen him in a while, but
Oh, yeah, Dane,
he
I
just
remember
reminded
him.
me of him a little bit.
Yeah, I remember him.
San
He does have a
Francisco.
personality like
No, you know, that biblical question got me thinking, even though I never thought it was a lie, that, like, if you phrase the question, if like, remember you said that Oprah said, once all white people are dead, racism won't exist.
Right.
So if you think of it that way, if there were no more white people, would racism exist? Wouldn't it just be replaced by someone else?
No,
and
they'll
then-
turn on each other.
Yeah, someone else would
Yeah.
then be the racist.
Would be the
one.
racist.
And so when I
Absolutely.
think of it like that, like, okay, if only white
It
people
doesn't
can be racist,
exist.
you
It's
get rid of
ridiculous.
them, is racism gone? No, because like you said, it's evil. And
It's good versus evil. And when I was growing up, that's what we were taught. Because even if black kids were acting bad, we were not allowed to play with them. Because they're like, no, you cannot hang out with those kids. Their parents are no good. The adults would judge the kids, the parents by the way the kids acted. And they were right about that. Absolutely.
A Happy New Year, by the way. Did you have a good Christmas?
It was amazing.
I
Thank
went to Oregon to visit my family, and I was out there for a couple weeks. And it was an awesome opportunity to see the growth in myself, just from how I reacted and how I was able to watch it like a movie, you know, because it's like I could just see everyone's doing everything wrong,
Yes.
you know, like, you know, and of course I love everybody, and the way I show my love, since it's a verb, is by, like, you know, I've been watching you for like a year, and I can tell when I go to see my family now that I'm not triggered by anything. Like he said, I'm not in there like trying to, you know, be authority and police them and be like, hey, you know, you shouldn't have did that. Seem like the know-it-all. But when I would just observe and I wouldn't be angry and I would just watch, all of a sudden I found that, like my sister, for example, would, you know, she has kids out of wedlock. Well, and then she got married, and then she got divorced, and now she has, you know, stepkids with a new guy and her kids. So it's hell.
Yeah.
A mess.
a mess.
So it was great to be there and just be okay with it.
That's right.
You know, like everything was cool, and I found it interesting that my sister would kind of come to me and ask, "So what do you think? ask advice. And because I after a couple of days, there was room for it. I wasn't, if I had been there right away saying stuff, preaching,
Yes.
then it would have been a turnoff, and she would have, because she's in that fallen state, and emotional, she would have been angry, and she would have, in her ego, and my sister's the type to be like, ego, everything, all emotions serve a purpose, and we,
Is your mother
for
still
something.
crazy too?
Oh, she's insane.
Amazing.
She doesn't talk to me.
She doesn't?
She doesn't
Oh,
talk to
good.
anybody. I know, exactly.
Right on.
And my dad was like, "You gonna wish her a Merry Christmas?" And I was like, "No." Why? She told me that she didn't want me in her life.
Right
So
on.
it would not be, we're not respecting her wishes if I
Absolutely.
intruded onto her. It's like, that's that trap.
Sure is.
But overall, yeah, it was cool to see the family and spend Christmas out there and really realize it. Like, it wasn't, I was able to give love, and it wasn't my love to give. It was that I was just the observer, and that I was allowing God to operate through me and just be a human being.
Right
I was
on,
just
man.
being. So thank you.
Amazing. Pass the mic to the guy in the earrings. Ooh. I gotta say, he only has them on now because he has a hole in his ear, right?
Right.
And if you take them out, it's gonna leave a hole.
Right.
Once you have this part cut off.
I do want to. It's
No, I'm just kidding. Don't cut your ear off, man. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing
Happy
well.
New Year.
Thanks, man. Happy New Year.
And so, what has happened since the last time I saw you? How's your life going?
I mean, in just in general.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of rough right now because this job that I had, I was working construction, and the job we were working on, the guy with the money funding everything, he basically let go of the company. So now we have to look for something else to work on.
Right.
So right now I'm just a Lyft driver.
You're a Lyft driver?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And you're making money doing that, right?
Yeah.
Good, man. Yeah. The one thing about life, one thing leads to another one. Right. So when this guy did whatever he did, don't see that as something negative for you. It's just an opportunity for you to move forward. God has a way of making us move forward, because some people get stuck with one thing and they're afraid to let it go. They're attached to it, and they're afraid to let it go. And they spend a lifetime with a particular job or a person, and they're unhappy with it. But they are attached and they're afraid to let go. So that's fine, man.
Yeah. No, I've been thinking about that that kind of thing specifically, afraid to let things go.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, because I've changed jobs, throughout the course of my life. So, I was trying to look at it like that. Although it was a little bit of a setback, I'm doing the Lyft thing, and I'm sure I'll be able to get, another job will come up. And something
Absolutely.
like that. So
That's right.
I'm just staying positive.
That's amazing, man. Really good. Any questions for me?
No.
Oh, okay. So, you have some online? Okay. Go to James real fast.
All right, I have some questions from the YouTube live chat. Is Christian, actually this is a D Live Diamond. Is Christian
Amazing.
dating beta?
Is what?
Are Christian dating sites beta?
Yes. Beta. Anybody that goes online to look for a date, you're beta. Beta guy and beta girl. That doesn't even make sense. How do you go online and order a woman? This guy told me, and I won't say who he is. I won't say who you are. He was in town visiting, and he just wanted to have sex. He went online and ordered a date, and they had sex, and they went away. I'm like, what the? That's the world, though. That's how the world uses you. It set you up and make money off you. It doesn't. The world does not want you to be an individual, because you might think for yourself, and they can't use you. All right? That's what that's all about. And they're like, oh, these dating sites. I met Liz, and Liz was so nice, and we went to dinner. I went on whatever site it is, right? And then you get Liz, and all hell breaks loose. Don't go. God will add it unto you. Whatever your heart desires, it will be added unto you. if you look for a husband or you look for a wife, you're going to end up with the wrong one because you think you know what you want and you think this is the right person. It doesn't work that way. Did you guys meet online or something? Oh, you did? The reason I know because you kissed him. So I said, oh, they must have met online. Oh, you guys didn't meet online? Oh, phew. Yeah. Why is she kissing you right now? Oh, she does?
She has a nervous tick.
Oh, and you don't like it? Do you feel like a man when she lean over and just kiss you out of nowhere? All right.
I don't even need the mic for that.
Right. Go ahead, Dave.
Do you think that we shouldn't pray for others?
Yeah. You should always wish others well, even your enemy. And wishing them well is a prayer because you're wishing that, let God's will be done for them. You're not holding anything against them, but you don't know what they need. You don't know what they want. You can't give it to them, so just wish them well. I wish my enemies well, really. And that's my prayer.
I have a few others, but I'll just give one more for now.
Yeah.
Malkuth X asks Jesse, if people had such a good family structure and moral character back in the good old days,
yes,
why did you live with your grandma, and why did you need to forgive Mama?
Because my mother knew my father, the stepfather wasn't my father, and I had always asked, where's my father? I want my father. And so they tried to avoid trouble because I was not going to accept my stepfather. Even though he was one of the nicest men you ever want to meet. He fed, my mother did not have to work. She ended up having 8 other children and never had to work. But in my soul, I wanted my father. My soul yearned for my father, and I would not accept him. And so that's why I stayed. I didn't want to be with him. But she did the right thing by getting married before I was born so that I would not be born out of wedlock. I'm not a bastard baby. I don't think. So I got to do this because of time. Who was here last Sunday? Okay, what was the theme from last Sunday? We have a theme for this year.
For the year was the openness. To be open?
Oh, shh. Be quiet, Mama. Mama always.
Thanks, Mom.
Who said, be quiet, Mama? What do you want to eat? Strawberries. So what was the theme what is the theme for this year?
For the year was openness, because you had that biblical question saying, what does it mean to be an open person or something? And then you said that would be the theme for the year.
I know you have not been doing it.
Yeah, actually I have.
That's not the theme.
No?
Pot smoker.
What's the theme?
Who remember the theme for this year? Oh, good. Let's go here. Victoria. Ooh, you molded.
Oh,
molded. Yes. What's the theme for this year?
You said to be a watcher.
Yes.
Thank you.
Watchfulness.
You heard that? Watcher.
And are you doing that?
Yes.
And why did I make that the theme? What's the purpose of doing that?
I don't remember. I just had to upstage my friend over there, that's all.
I bet you remember there's a pot shop down the street, right? Are you telling her, Mark?
Wait, is this for real?
Why'd you give her the cell phone?
I feel like I'm being set up. Wait. Be watchful. Become the person that watches. Be aware. Be
Mark
a person of
that?
openness and just watch.
Did Mark give you his phone with the answer on it?
Yes.
Mama. I'm sorry.
He was
your
just helping
husband's
me
a
out.
mama. And you just heard me yelling at them not to give the answer. And so Mama wrote it on the cell phone and gave it to her. That doesn't mean you give it to her now. Your husband's a mama. Beat him up.
Do I at least get half credit for that?
Yes.
Thank you.
Because you're right about what it is. What is the, let's ask. Yes.
I have an idea for a theme. Everyone should try and get one person to start coming here regularly to church, and then we would double in size.
Take the mic away from him.
It's a fantastic idea.
We're not looking for
Such a good idea.
A new theme yet. The young lady in the middle. Our theme this year is watchfulness. I said that this year I recommend you be watchful. Watchfulness. You ever heard that before? No. Oh. Okay, I have to come back. Any questions? This is your first time here, right?
I was here 2 years ago.
Oh, you were? Well, welcome back. Any questions or anything from what you've heard, any disagreements or anything?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. So you agree with everything I've said so far?
I don't know about that.
Give me one little thing you disagree with. I'm still going to love you.
I don't know if I'm ready to share that yet.
Oh. You won't be back for another 2 years.
You don't know that.
Oh, okay. All right. So you don't want to share it right now? No. All right. You want to smoke on it?
Maybe just think on it.
All right. Absolutely. Oh, man. Our theme is watchfulness for this year. All right. Have you heard me say that before?
Nope.
When you hear that, what comes to your mind? What do you think that is for? For this whole year.
Just to be more aware of what's going on, your surroundings.
And,
more
and
conscious.
why?
Because you're going to pay more attention and be more keen and listen more.
Are you watching yourself?
Yes, I'm starting to.
You're starting to? And as a result of that, what's happening? What have you noticed about yourself?
Lots of bad things.
Like what, for example?
Like,
This your wife?
No, it's my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend?
Yes.
Are you living with her?
No.
Oh, good. Phew. You saved by the bell. What have you noticed about yourself that you had not realized before or prior to watching yourself?
Like bad habits, like things I want to change. And if I forget about things, like, for example, if I set a goal or a habit that I want to change, if I pay more attention to it, I'm going to get to it. But if I just think about it one time, then I'll just forget it, and it's going to keep on going.
Yeah.
So the more I keep aware of things, I can start changing, in my opinion.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
Yes.
Any question about that?
Yeah, like it changed the way I pray. I used to pray. So
I used to pray, oh, Lord, bless my mama.
Yeah, so
have mercy.
So now that's weird for me.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
You don't do that anymore?
I still do it, but it's weird now. Now I want to do it less.
Yeah. And why is it weird now?
Because I feel like everything I'm asking for is just like for my own ego or for...
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
It's all vain. Anyone that prays with words, if you notice, it's all vain. Really. That's why God said, be still and know him. You don't know what you want. You don't know what you need.
Do you pray for like food before you eat and stuff like that? Or?
No, I used to. Like, Lord, thank you for this food. Thank you for Mama who made this food. Thank you that it's going to be good. And bless the Lord. But no, I don't do that. What I do now is just before I start eating, I kind of take a look at it so that I try to eat when I'm aware of eating. Because if you notice, you pray over the food, and then the first bite, you go unconscious. And the next thing you know, you're licking your plate. You forgot about God and Mama and everybody, right? But it's best to be aware of why you're eating, and when you're aware of why you're eating, you won't get fat. Because you're aware, you're not escaping into the food. The last thing that men have to overcome is sex and food. Because Mama seduced you with food or sex, right? And so if you're aware, then you will overcome the addiction of food. So just be aware why you eat it. I challenge you guys and ladies, just sit there for a minute and watch the food, right? And then eat. And try to be aware of why you're eating. After a while, you totally forget. I'm not even good at that yet. I went to Kelly's house for a party the other night, and she's the best cook on this side of heaven. So I was saying to myself, I'm going to be aware. It didn't work. The hors d'oeuvre was so good, I went unconscious. I don't even remember getting the food. Because the food, it seduced me just like that.
One last thing about prayer, praying for sick people. What do you do?
Ask God to let his will be done for them. Because you may pray that Joseph live. Oh Lord, please heal Joseph. Let him live. And Joseph live and he'll kill you. But if you let God's will be done, whatever it will be, will be. What do you think about that?
Yeah. It's so quick. I can do that like in...
Yeah, God, let your will be done for them. Wish everybody well all the time. Don't hold anything against anyone.
Thank you.
All right? So what's your name?
Tiffany.
Tiffany. So you're dating Joseph. What's your first name?
Manny.
Manny. And so is he a beta or alpha? Is he beta or alpha?
Beta.
Yeah. Ooh. And why do you say beta?
Can I say everything? Oh, he still lives with his mom.
He still lives with his mother?
Yeah.
And how old are you?
30.
What? What the? What the? Why are you still living with mama? Why are you dating a man that's at home with mama? He gonna make you his mama.
Yeah, I feel like that sometimes.
You feel like his mother, huh? Why are you at home with mama at 30, man?
Because I want to move out when I find a woman that I want to marry, and also because
you're not a woman. That's not the way it goes.
And also I have my father passed away, so I help out. I'm there because I want to help her out, and I feel like if I leave, she won't be able to pay the rent. Cause
oh, she'll pay the rent.
Because in New York, it's more expensive.
Manny, get out. Your mother made you feel guilty for her. She turned you to her husband. And you're never going to be a man until you have your own situations and deal with your own life and figure out your own rent and make your life work. You're not going to grow living at home with mama.
I don't disagree with that, but I believe that as a single child is a responsibility for me.
Your only responsibility is not to hate your mother. But you need to go have your own life. So you want to stay at home until you find a wife. That sounds like a woman. A woman stay home until she find a husband.
Right.
But you're saying like a woman until you have a woman's mindset. You need to be born again. You're thinking like a woman and not like a man. You need to overcome your mother.
So you would, let's say you would leave your mother.
At a heartbeat.
And if she wouldn't be able to pay the rent, what would you do?
She'll pay the rent. She'll find a way to pay the rent. That's not your responsibility. She didn't. You were not an investment. Your mother just, oh, let me have a baby so I have someone to take care of me. A lot of women do that. That's wrong. You need to go live your life, man, and grow up. Overcome your mother. You're not going to grow up at home with mama. That's not your responsibility. It's not your fault that she didn't prepare life as she was getting older. Put it in an old folks home or something.
I just feel like that's irresponsible.
It's what?
Irresponsible.
No, it's not. You're not responsible for your mother.
Like you.
Speak into the mic for me.
Oh, when you left your parents or whatever, they were able to like be together and like keep with each other.
A woman should get married before she starts having babies. Right. So when they go through the situation, it's husband and wife. That's why they make the promise until death do you part, right?
Right.
The husband and wife are together, not the children. You're supposed to go out and live your own life. And don't hate. And then you'll see times when we want to help, and you'll be able to help, but it'll be you wanting to and not out of guilt. And that's what love is.
I feel like I want to help her also.
But you're not yourself. You're her. You're doing it because you feel guilty about it if you don't do it. You feel an obligation.
Yes. Okay.
So why are you dating a man that's 30 years old and live with mama?
He has a beautiful soul.
He has a mama soul.
Mm,
And you're going to end up hating him. Am I right?
yeah,
Do you already hate him?
sometimes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You're getting into a situation that's not going to work. Don't date a man that will not leave mama. And then if you should marry him, mama's going to be right between you guys, controlling it. And you won't be happy about that. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Did you know she felt that way?
Yeah.
But why do you stay with him knowing that he's not changing?
I was hoping, well, he has been listening to you a lot, and I was hoping he would change.
You were hoping what?
I was hoping, like, he talks about he wanted to, like, move out and stuff. And, yeah, because he's been listening to you for a while. Yeah.
Manny, get out. You have a job?
Yes.
Move next week. Real fast, get away from mama. And then are you doing my silent prayer video? Yeah. Do the silent prayer because you must be born again, meaning that you have to overcome the mindset and emotions of your mother and return to your father. You'll be fine. But you're not going to grow living at home with mama. It's not going to happen. And you're not going to ever have a good relationship if you should marry her. It's not going to work. Mama's not letting it. Will not let it because she's invested herself into you. She needs you. She made you that way. She's not going to let you go.
Does where you live have anything to do with what you're saying?
So what now?
The place where you live, does that have anything to do with what you're saying?
No, it's happening in Beverly Hills, in Malibu, Hawaii, Miami, Africa, Russia, China, Japan. Oh, it's happening all over. Really, it's the same spirit all over the world. I get calls from everybody around the world. It's the same spirit. It's not just here. It's not just in the ghetto. It's around the world. That's why God said you must be born again. You're not yourself. That's why you're going to judge yourself for living with mama for so long, and then it's just going to get worse. We'll talk some more after the meeting. You have time to hang around for a minute? Where do you live?
New York.
Oh, so you're here visiting?
Yeah.
Yeah, when are you going back?
Tonight.
You going back to New York? We're going to get you saved today then. We got to get you saved before you get back to mama. You got to get away from mama, man. She's using you. All right? So so we'll talk before you leave, all right? Do you have time to hang out for a minute, you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you know your girlfriend hated you for being weak?
Yeah, but after I see myself changing. It's not like
Right.
I want to stay there.
Well, get out.
Yeah.
All right? But we'll talk. All women hate all weak men. It's just the way it is. All right? They can't help it. What do you think about my theme for this year?
I think I started doing it naturally before I knew your question.
And what is the theme?
Be like watchful.
And why did I ask you to do that or encourage you to do that?
What did you ask?
Yeah.
Just so we can see for ourselves and, observe our thoughts, observe people, observe what's happening around us.
Observe yourself. You're absolutely right. Let me end by saying that what is needed, first of all, you must be born again. And when you're born again, you will live a life of love because God is love and there will be no anger and no darkness in you at all. You'll live a life of love, right? And then in living that life by being watchful of yourself, you'll see what's going on around you. But every issue that you have in life, whether it's fear, doubt, worry, insecurity, loving money, whatever it may be, it'll fall away. You'll find yourself overcoming it. It will naturally be taken away from you. If you live a life of watch, just watch. Watch yourself. When you, like I had Duran come up, if he watched himself doing that, After a while, there would be no fear. And he'll be able to talk to thousands of people and feel nothing about it. And the reason I know this is because this is how my life has changed. What Christians don't tell you is that you must be born again. And when you're born again, there's nothing you can do. You just live by the light of God in you. And whatever the issue is, don't be mad about it. Just notice that the issue is there. But don't judge yourself. Don't judge it. Just notice it, and it will change. You'll find yourself living like, wow, this is amazing. I used to be addicted to this. I used to be afraid of that. I used to want this. I used to hunger for this. And it will absolutely be taken away from you. He will take it away because it's a spirit. It's spiritual. There's nothing we can do about it. But you need to keep an eye on yourself. And it's the light of God that allows you to see yourself. And when you're watching it without judging it, you're overcoming it. So be patient with yourself, but keep an eye on yourself. And you're going to see the world around you, too. You'll see evil at work. You really will. All right? But don't judge it. Just watch it. Speak up, but don't resent. So that's why I want to use this theme, be watchful, meaning to watch yourself. And don't, let's say you're in a situation and you feel afraid. Don't freak out over feeling afraid because Satan's going to tell you, oh, it's not working. You're not overcoming anything, right? Don't believe it because you are overcoming. Because that light of God is what causing you to overcome it. In him, all things are possible, but you must be born again. And this Christian way of living, you need to let that go because it just learns stuff. They read the Bible and the Bible says, don't jump over the moon. So the Christians won't jump over the moon. Because Satan is interpreting the Bible for them. We have to have love. And God is love. And when you return to him by overcoming, forgiving your parents for setting you up, return to your fathers, love your fathers, don't hate them, your fathers, you can't help but be fine in life. And you're going to find yourself going through life without any thoughts or idea about what you want or what it's going to be. Every thought is a lie. No such thing as a true thought. Every thought is a lie. All right? And if you notice, I noticed this week because I'm doing it too, watching, the thoughts set you up about everything. Oh, when you get there, they're going to be mad. And now you think they're going to be mad, so you're set up for it. But when you get there, nothing is happening. Or if a situation should happen, it's not going to work out. I want you to doubt every thought. I encourage you to, because God's voice is he revealed to you. He doesn't talk to you. Satan talked to you about everything. All right? So just smoke on it. So be watchful. Just watch. You don't have to do it. You can suffer if you want to die. The people who are angry, they are suffering. They have buku money. They live in fancy places. They are politicians. They are therapists. They're experts. They're still suffering because they have anger. They're not watching themselves. They're not overcoming. You could be an expert on your own life. You don't need someone to tell you. All right? So make sure be watchful and do the prayer, the silent prayer video, and you'll be fine. And if things don't fall away right away, just be patient. You are changing. Like a physical kid growing up, the real you're growing, you're changing. You're losing the old habits. All right? Okay. What do you think about that? This is your first time here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's your first time.
Yes.
This your boyfriend or your husband?
It's my husband.
Beta, alpha?
He's alpha.
Ooh. And what's alpha about him?
Well, he doesn't really, he pretty much leads our household, so.
Does he lead you?
Yes, he does.
Right on. You like it or you fight?
I sometimes reject it, but he tends to be very firm about where we need to go.
Why do you reject it at times?
Probably because I have some influences that are not very positive.
You have some influences that are not positive over
yes,
him?
as a youth, but we've been married 20 years now, so.
Oh, amazing. You guys are a little old enough to be married for 20 years.
And we have 7 children.
That's amazing.
Yes, sir.
Right on. So have you gone and forgiven your mother?
I plan to. In my heart, I have.
No, you
but
haven't.
I plan to.
You haven't in the heart.
I haven't had a chance to talk to her
God
about
didn't
it.
say in the heart. He said, go and forgive.
Go and forgive, yes,
and
sir.
I'll forgive you.
Yes, sir.
Why have you done that?
I don't see my mom that often, And I want to do it in person.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
you
I
should, so
don't
you
see
can
my dad that
overcome the
often
fear.
either, so.
If you don't, you're going to screw up all the kids.
Yes, sir.
Do you realize that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing that I have him.
Yeah, it really is. Any questions for me about anything?
No, sir.
All right. Anything you disagree with?
No, sir.
Women don't have love to give.
I've heard that. Yes, sir.
Is that true or not?
I understand the premise. Yes, sir.
Is that true or not?
I don't know. I don't know. I love my children, so
I bet you do. This your first time here? When I say women don't have love to give, what do you think about that? You rather not give your opinion? Well, you might cuss me out.
No.
What? You might hit me?
No.
You told Harpo to beat me. I don't mind if you disagree.
I'm not interested in giving my opinion.
You're not
But I
interested?
do have a question for you.
Yes.
So we were talking about racism, right?
Right.
Okay. Do you think it has to do anything at all with the end time?
The end time? What do you mean?
Well, the Bible talks about the end time.
So are you asking me if racism has anything to do with the end time? No, it has everything to do with people being evil.
Okay.
You disagree with that?
I'd rather not give my opinion.
Is this your wife?
Yeah.
Oh, are you surprised you're not giving her opinion?
No.
Oh, what's wrong with her?
She's reserved.
Amazing. Well, I'm glad you're here. Any other questions for me?
No.
All right. When I say women don't have love to give, what do you think about that?
I think that that's true.
You sure?
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of guys at the gym. They were like, oh, talking about their mama and all that. I said, women don't have love to give. And this big fat black guy said, he's like, that's the most idiotic thing I ever effing heard. I'm like, should I get out of here or what? And so I asked him, I asked, where do they get the love from that they give? And he thought about it. He's like, you know what? He cursed. That's effing right. He cursed again. But he had never thought about it. The problem is people don't think. They don't ask questions and they don't think. Women don't have love to give. They receive love. Love comes from God, through Christ, through the man, through the woman, to the children. If that love comes from below, which is from Satan, it's very destructive. And that's not love.
I think I would have definitely answered differently like a year ago.
Yeah.
But I think that now what I understand to be love is very different than what I thought love was
Absolutely.
before. And I think that women have an amazing ability to like cuckoo and caress and be emotional and help you feel better, your ego feel better.
Absolutely.
I think men or women who are like more of an alpha type
If
of
a
woman
woman grew
who's
up-
close with her father
Absolutely.
or like that,
If she grew up close to her father, then she have love because she got the love from her father.
she'll be more logical and she won't, I think
Absolutely.
women will almost make the situation like a deeper hell for each other, but they like that.
Yeah.
They'll feed off of that. And men will try to bring you home
Absolutely.
or bring you back.
Amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
You're blessed. Cause Mark is a mama today. He gave the answer to Victoria. Mama boy. You're absolutely right. And it's okay to know that. It doesn't mean you hate. It doesn't mean anything. It's just you're going to get it right, you do right, and your family will appreciate it in the long run. It'll be good. All right? Last word from you. You had your hand, right?
Yeah, I have a question about that topic.
Okay. Right there. Real fast.
So, I'm not I have listened to you before, but I'm not familiar with this topic. So,
Okay.
I guess my question is, what about a woman's direct relationship with Christ and Christ implanting himself in her and the love that Christ puts in all of us? How does that figure into the equation?
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Where?
Anyone who receives Jesus.
Have you ever seen a woman that's directly connected to Christ?
Yes.
Where?
For sure. My wife.
Your wife is mad.
Why would I be mad?
That's why.
No.
But
So you're
listen,
saying a woman cannot have an individual
If a woman is
relationship
not
with
married,
Jesus Christ. That
let's say
through
that
the
she-
Holy Spirit she can't know him.
Let's say she's not married, right?
Right. Exactly.
And
So
she did not, her mother turned her away from her father. She can go to God and repent. Forgive her mother for what the mother did to her. Love her earthly father, because if you don't love your earthly father, there's no way you can love God, right? And she could love her father, then Christ will work through her. God will work through her. The same thing a man has to do.
Okay.
But the problem is men hate their mothers, and so you become attracted to what you hate. And so they're marrying or getting involved with women that are just like mama, and they're trying to get love through these ladies, and the ladies don't have love to give. And that's why relationships don't work. They end up fighting and disagreeing, and the man knows something's wrong, and he's trying to make it right, but he doesn't understand what it is. He's trying to get something from the woman that she doesn't have because he hates his mother. That's why you have to forgive so the love will come through God.
Okay. Well, I kind of get what you're saying, and I don't.
Do you agree or
completely-
disagree with that?
I believe that a woman can have an individual relationship with Jesus Christ.
If she do what I just said, right?
If she
If
has
she does what I
forgiveness,
just said.
yeah,
Sorry,
if she's fully given herself to Christ, which would mean that you're forgiving, that you're.
But it's hard to find a woman that's fully given themselves to Christ. You haven't seen one.
There's a lot of people in the world.
A whole lot. That's why there's so much hell in the world.
Yeah.
Because they have not given themselves to God. But there are ladies that are listening to my show and coming here. Like this young lady was saying, she had never heard that before.
Right.
Now she's getting to know herself. The role is now reversing because she's forgiven, meaning to repent, and she's coming back to God. She's loving her husband in the right way, so it's working. But nobody's telling the ladies that they need to forgive so that they can be free. You got to love your father. No one's telling them that. They're going along with the okie-doke. And the men are afraid to tell them because they're afraid of losing the woman, losing mama. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you the head of your wife?
Yes.
Does she listen to you?
Sometimes.
And what do you do when she doesn't?
Well, she's a human being. I can't make her do anything.
See, like, oh, well,
But I
this is
let her
human
know.
being.
I let her. She knows when I disagree.
Oh. You obey your husband?
We believe in communication, and the Lord teaches about marriage
Let her have
is
the
a
mic.
teamwork. Marriage is a teamwork.
Do you obey your husband?
I obey him according to what the Lord says in the Bible, yes.
Do you obey your husband?
Of course.
So
The
when
Lord
you-
shows us to respect, because love is respect.
Who told
And
you that?
responsibility, just because love is obedience, it's respect. God wants obedience from us and respect. That's love.
God is a tough God. He'll let you die a homeless person. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you stay in your sin, you will die.
You will die. Anyway, but thank you, man.
Sure.
I appreciate that. I got to end. I encourage you to do the silent prayer video. I encourage you to speak up, but don't resent. And just watch yourself this year. Really watch yourself. And doubt every thought that you get. Every thought is a lie. When you read the Bible, whatever you may be doing, He's going to tell you things that are not true. All right? That's why God said, bring every thought into captivity. And just wait until you get there. You'll see what to do and what to say. All right? He'll take care of you. Consider the birds and the bees. He take care of them, and they don't have a job. They're on welfare. And you created His image. Just think about what He'll do for you, all right? He'll take care of you. So thank you all for tuning in. I absolutely appreciate it. Can you bring the baby up really fast? We have a brand new baby. When was the baby born?
November 22nd.
Amazing. November 22nd. That's amazing. You guys get your offering ready. Joel going to be coming around in a minute. That way we can get out of here really fast. Is it a boy? Yeah. Alpha male. Real men make boys first. I'm Alpha baby.
You said that. He's been smiling a lot.
Can I hold him?
Absolutely.
All right.
He's up.
Oh. Look at Alpha baby. What's his name?
Ellis Bond.
Ellis Bond?
Yeah, exactly.
Right on, Ellis Bond. I wish you well, buddy. Amazing. I married this couple. They dealt with their issues. They went and forgave, and they got married, and now they have a boy.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. See the baby. Joel, I don't know what you waiting on.
Yeah, man. He said he doesn't know what he's waiting.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Where are you looking at? The light?
So you're born in November, right?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. He's growing fast already.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
That was the first day we took him out. We had to stay in the house for 40 days. I mean, we went out for the doctor and stuff, but we tried to like.
You stayed in the house for 40 days?
They basically did. Yeah.
Why?
Because it's like the traditional thing. I think that's what like Jesus did or something like that. I don't know. It's just a traditional thing. It has no real significance. But honestly, I think there's a scientific reason because they get to bond and they get to like, you know, connect hormonally, and the baby just came out of the womb. So it's like, you can't just take him straight out to the world. He needs
I
like.
was in the cotton field the day after I was born.
But were you wrapped in your mom?
I was on her back.
Yeah, you see? That's,
while she was picking cotton.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what he's been doing. He just hasn't been in a cotton field yet.
Right on. Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right.
I'll leave this with you?
No, you get back to that. All right, folks. The update on the building is that we have 350,000 now, a little over 350,000. So there's a building down on La Brea that's really nice. It's already set up. I'm going down this week and check that out. And if it goes well, I'm hoping that we can get that. It's not far away. It's not in the hood. And it really has a stage. It has studio room for studios and all kind of stuff. And so I'll let you know what happens with that. And if you guys know any places or you hear about anything, let me know. All right? And Scott, it's time to make some white babies. We need white babies too, because white people are running out. We need white babies. And so don't forget to, I wish you well this year. Check us out at rebuildingtheman.com. We have all kind of stuff there, all right? Everything goes back to Barn. And if you need counseling, we have the best counseling service on this side of heaven. You can let us know. We can counsel with you by FaceTime or in person or on the phone, whatever. All right? Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you all for coming. I absolutely appreciate it.